Hey everyone, welcome to another Transformers review. This is of course, the masterpiece MP-50 Tigatron from Beast Wars. He's apparently according to the box we'll take a look at, a Cybertron Polar Scout. And yes, they'll still have the long life design and everything. And hey look, the Beast Wars eye, and hey look, there he is in the Tiger and robot modes and excessively shiny Takara Tomy and Beast Wars logo and everything. You got Transformers masterpiece and whatnot, and you got the Beast mode, and you have box falling over. You have robot mode there. You have a bunch of warnings and stuff down here. And on the back you have a billion pictures and text I can't read and what's in the box and all that stuff. And one of those things in said box is, of course, his instructions, which are the unfortunately very small print thing you can see. Let's see. You kind of see the directions that each box is kind of on the small side, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure that text is actually helpful. However, well, I can't read it, so that's a bit. Then we've got more shots and hey, stuff you can do with the figure and what not there. And you have the bio card with the good old Beast Wars thing in the background and whatnot, and more stuff I can't read. And wow, that intelligence apparently is a 3. I'm not sure if I agree with that, but whatever. Anyway, Tigatron in his tiger mode. Yes, he is a white tiger, as we are well aware if you watch Beast Wars. And yeah, you can see, yeah, he's kind of chunky, like right there, just chunk, right? And yeah, it's a pretty good thing overall. It's actually I think one of the better ones, I guess, in regards to beast mode for the Beast Wars masterpiece. You can kind of see, well, yeah, this part kind of looks suspiciously like a foot, and there's a bunch of green back here, and he has literally no butt. And whatnot. But yeah, it's not too bad. Mine just came undone just now, apparently, up here. Not sure why, but came undone for some reason. Yeah. He's got, he's got the good old Beast Wars paint job. He got good striping. You can see mine right there. Mine has some paint transfer now from transforming it. Fortunately, there is some paint transfer. That's unfortunate. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to clean that off. Yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, he is very chunky as a tiger and stuff. But he does have posability. Of course, his mouth can open. You can see, and also you can see the pink inside the mouth. Raise that up a little. You can see the pink inside of the mouth. He's got the little translucent whiskers. His head can move a bit. It's kind of weird. You can rotate it a bit side to side. You can go up and down right here, and also, and again, I don't think I tabbed this quite in quite properly last time I transformed it. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's move side to side. This head can move up and down right here. It can look up and not really down. Yeah, so there's some movement there. So you just gotta, work for it sometimes. This can move forward and back, right there. There's a rotation right there. Got a hinge here, which has that far forward and that far back. Paws can swivel up and down. Again, pretty far. And there's also a rotation there as well. The back legs are kind of weirdly limited, all things considered. It's you got rotation, and you got another rotation here, and you got another rotation there, and I guess that little tiny bit of hinge right there. And I guess you could do that, but I'm not sure what that's useful for in the tiger mode. And the paw, I guess you can do that. There is a hinge right here, if you want. Yeah. Then you also got this as well. Outward is not there, unfortunately. There's no outward. There's outward here on this one, though. I forgot about that. There's outward there. But there's no outward on that rear leg, which is unfortunate. The tail can move up and down. That's the thing. And then you got, there's 2 hinges here, which lets you do that if you want. Break his tail, you got to do that. There's a rotation point here, so you can, have this bit pointing how you want. And then there's a little hinge right here as well. And one other thing for this mode is you can, if you really want, you can change where the eyes are opening position by opening this up, and then you can move this around. On a lot of people's copies, these eyes are loose a little bit. Okay, so you can have them kind of looking weird, although that's a little too far. But yeah, you can have them looking over either, one way to the other. That sort of thing. You can do that if you want. Yeah, they are a little loose though. These things can be a little loose for some people. Some people have tried it in floor polish. Apparently, that some people and someone that actually made this tried straight up seize up. So be careful with that one. Yeah, I've heard of people basically gravity causes them to fall over. But mine aren't really doing that. Really, seem like not too much. But yeah, there's that to watch out for if you want to do that. Here's a couple of accessories, one of which is actually applicable in this mode, which is that thing. This is the stand adapter, and what you do with this is there's kind of tabs on the sides, and these things. These line up. You want these holes in the stand here to line up with these holes down here, and this just kind of tabs in. It's not the most secure connection, but it's secure enough, and that lets you. Yeah, real quick post-review thing. Yeah, the stand there, yeah, it's supposed to go on Black Arachnia stand, not Dinobots like I apparently tried to do in the original video. Yeah, so yeah, Black Arachnia stand that will not fit on Dinobot stand and all that. Like, but yeah, that works just fine as an adapter. I might also work with MP Trax's stand and whatnot, but it will work with the Black Arachnia stand no problem and whatnot. So yeah, just know that. So get back to the review I did before. So yeah, it's that is a stand adapter, but yeah, there's that. Yeah, there's that stuff. Yeah, Tiger mode. So yeah, Tiger mode's it actually works pretty well. All things again, on mine, these do not ever. I cannot ever get this to 100% line up, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if it's something with the toy. Because when I got out of the package, these did not line up. These did not full hold. You can see there's a gap there. That gap was there when I out of the box. So I'm not sure if that's a design flaw or what, but because this is the most important comparison for beast mode. I'm not going to get all of them into beast mode and stuff, but here's a Cheetor. That's I think the most important one. You can see Cheetor is much more slim overall. Yeah, oddly enough, the Tiger and Cheetah modes actually aren't that much size-wise. Not much smaller. He's not so much smaller. He's definitely knows to be chunkier, but he's not that much chunkier. It's kind of one of those things where you go, huh? Because when you get to robot mode, it's a whole different story. And speaking of, yeah, probably just going ahead and take him to robot mode now, and we'll talk about more there. All right, yeah, so that's his robot mode right there, yeah. Yeah, rather like the robot mode, honestly. Again, it's very show accurate as it's MP, so of course they do that. And yeah, I rather like it. The transformation itself is actually pretty clever and actually not as complicated as you might think it would be. actually, there's a lot about this actually pretty simple. Its only thing would be I was a little scared of the knees right here, the sliding out thing for on the lower legs on the knees thing. It's it can be a little scary because like it's really tight, and I'm like I heard people breaking there, so I was like really scared to actually just pull it. But yeah, you got to give a good tug to get it to slide out, but it does work. The other thing is, yeah, unfortunately, the paint transfer from a Transformer it does happen and whatnot, but he is largely pretty good here. I do like how he looks. He's a very good fairly good size in his own right. Of course, you can hold his gun. He comes with a single gun. Unlike Cheetor, it came with two. There are a couple of things I wish were done better. I wish, for example, these arm panels, if you notice, they can flop around. I wish there was like something just to kind of, even if it's a soft point, a click point or something, just something to kind of secure them better. As it is, it's easy to accidentally knock them out of alignment and whatnot. They kind of hold there, but it doesn't take much to do that, unfortunately. I wish that was done a little better. Yeah, once again, he can hold his gun, you know, good old palm slot tab thing. And he holds it pretty decently. His fingers are real tight, so it's. What I've noticed for me, it's like close his fingers up. I have a tendency to accidentally knock the gun loose or something because it's so tight. But yeah, can hold that pretty well. The other thing is, yeah, the knees are kind of weird. Like, I mean, kind of just generally weird how they work. It doesn't take... The way they operate is like, I'm not sure if something's I swear something's misaligned. It feels like something's kind of misaligned because, like, okay, so you got these right here. You got this weird thing right here, this little wobbly joint. That goes forward, not back. So it's a weird thing. So it's like you get this forward movement, but not a back movement, because the back movement is here. But because of that forward movement, he has a tendency to kind of want to, you know, lean forward a bit, which is a little annoying. But it doesn't take, it's not too difficult to get him to stand straight, but yeah. Also, this leg, this panel right here doesn't like to fully tab in. I think there might be something like in the way there. I'm not sure. Might be some like mold flash or something kind of, when you're in which way, something's causing it to not want us to tab in all the way, which is a little unfortunate. Yeah, but and this other thing is he's got a weird mix of loose and tight joints. Like the wrists are really loose, elbows are tight, shoulders are tight. Legs are ratcheted. These are unfortunately loose. These weird knot knees. These are unfortunately really loose, so they kind of are annoying to deal with. But yeah, it's not too terrible. And you know, if once you know what you're doing, it's not difficult to fix. But yeah, he's got a lot of green showing up. You can see that really nice metallic green, just like in the show. You know, the green there, the green on the legs, the green kind of on the shoulders, the panels, his face. Also, mind this the default face has a bit of a blemish right there, unfortunately. You can see that right on the chin, the little paint blemish. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get that off, or if it's going to be, if I do that, whoop, it just scratched the paint up and now he looks really worse. So I don't want to touch it too much. Also, I just realized this, that was backwards. That's weird. I didn't realize the screw was facing forward on that. So I must have really messed with the other thing is, yeah, the bicep sole is kind of loose too. At least it doesn't like separate itself from like, right there at the shoulder like a Cheetor did. But he's also got his accessories, which show right now. He's got 4 extra faces, which is crazy. This doesn't happen very often with those. But yeah, you got the let's see, you got this. Let's see, this is the, this is the VR face. I'll get to more of that in a little bit. He's got his big old shocked face. Kind of annoyed face right there. And you have his angry face. So that's the thing. And yeah, the nice thing, there is light piping. You can kind of see in the back of the head here. There's light piping. But like... it doesn't work super well because of where it is. There's a bunch of crap behind his head, so it doesn't work super well. Kind of works. You can kind of see it glowing. I mean, kind of, but it's not super great. I unfortunately. But swapping them out is pretty easy. You just gotta, you kind of pull the face out and then kind of up. And then you can really see, yeah, the light. Right? And the thing is, this is clear because this one's red. You know, most of them are red, except for the VR one, I guess, which is blue because of all, in the show he had the VR thing. But yeah, you trying to bring it down and in, and then you gotta not get it caught and stuff. You gotta slide it down and in. There you go, slide it in and like that. Although I will say in mine on the first one, initially the default face, it had a difficult time coming out because it was really stuck in there. I think the paint fused. But yeah, I got it out eventually. And yeah, you got this little cable, you know, just like the VR thing. You know, you got that little cable thing, and got a little tab on this side. And you just, this little slot right here behind his ear, I guess his ear, and plug that in, and then this can just dangle. It's got the thing. His knees. It got a little golden claw right there. You can see that little gold claw. That's kind of neat. Yeah, that's supposed to plug into somewhere, but yeah, there's nothing to plug it in. But he also has, if I can get this gun out of his hand, he's got the little thing, which, you know, we remember that episode. I believe that was episode end of the first season, I want to say. But yeah, he got the Megatron head, the one from the VR. So the cool thing is, yeah, the sides can spin around, so you can do the little, I guess, Rubik's Cube puzzle, although you can't do a full spin around. They didn't do a full-blown Rubik's Cube, which would have been cool if they did, but just those bits spin around. And also mine, this side's really loose. This one's tight. This one kind of has a soft locking point, but this one is supposed to have it. You can feel it, but it doesn't really work. And there's no way for one to really easily hold it either, unfortunately. At least that I can find. Just got a hole back down here, which is like, Yeah, I can't find a real easy way to hold for him to hold it. I'm not sure if there's like that holds actually for something or what, because like I can't seem to get him to hold it in any real way. Yeah, and even the instructions just show him just kind of, you know, having it just kind of rest on his leg, you know, like kneeling down, resting on his leg. So he can't really hold it very well. There's like no, you know, it would have been nice if just there's something there for him to hold on to, but there isn't. So unfortunately, it's really difficult for him to hold it. That's a thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna swap this back. Yeah, then the face swap is pretty much the same for all the faces. So there's like there's no real point in showing you all five of them, but you know, you got an idea. Yeah, it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt to get it swapped out though. Just because then you have to come in at a weird angle because of the shape of his helmet. And one last accessory he has is this the little missile thing, which okay, so the instructions are like, put it over the tab thing. Don't put it over the tab. It looks like you can too because there's a hole in this little thing right here. It says put it over the tab. You're going to break the tab if you do that. What you want to do is more or less put it behind or in front of said tab. You just want it like that. It will clip on to the panel just fine. And then you can, you know, do the thing where, you know, it has little missiles, little wrist rockets. So there you go. Just don't put it over the tab. You will break it. You'll almost certainly break the tab. That's almost certain. All right, so articulation. His head is on a weird dual swivel thing, so you can look left and right, although his things can get kind of caught. He can look pretty far, though. Yeah, it just does catch, and that's what's causing some of the paint transfer. You can see the head there is kind of catching on the back there. He can look up quite a bit, about that far. You can kind of look down, but not a whole lot. His shoulders, you can go outward right here, and also a little outward right there if you need that. Yeah, if you really, really need that extra bit for whatever reason. You got a bicep swivel, and right up here, right below the shoulder. You got a elbow, which curls up pretty far, actually. It's pretty much got the range of a double hinge. The wrist can swivel. You can see the wrist swivels. It can also hinge right here. So there's that. And you got the fingers are, you know, you got the three fingers are fused right here, but then the pointer finger can also hinge separately, but I'm not sure how useful that is, but it's a thing. The waist can swivel pretty nicely, you know, pretty freely as well. Pretty nice and free. And there's an ab crunch, although it's a weird one. What you do is you actually pop the torso up a little bit, and you get one, you know, like free ab crunch. But there's more if you keep going. It clicks, like, yeah, there's multiple clicks in there, and because it's a little ratchet. This is incredibly tight out of the package. Like, that is absurdly tight to the point of I was scared the plastic was going to break before it flexed. So what I did was like loosen these screws just a little bit, like maybe, you know, I loosened them a little bit by a little bit until this was moved enough to, I felt like it was working, you know, I could move it without feeling like I was afraid of it, but not so loose that everything felt too much, you know, felt too loose. But he does have an ab crunch. It's just weirdly too tight, unfortunately. So just loosen those screws and it'll work. Oh yeah, and up here on the shoulders, he has the butterfly, you know, right there as well. So you can get some poses with that. The hips, you got, you know, ratcheted forward, although the crotch plate here starts to move things out of the way. You got some back, but not a whole lot because that starts rubbing it against right there. You got outward is goes about that far. You got a swivel right above the knee. The knee itself has that much range. You also got the swivel below the knee. And you got this, which is functionally useless for articulation unless you just want to break his leg a bit. Down here you got a somewhat of a forward tilt right there. You got forward right there, not really any back. You got a lot of side to side. And the toe, you can't really do much with the toe. There's nothing really there at the toe. The heel can go inward if you need that for some reason, but yeah. So for Masterpiece, pretty darn good. It's somewhat lacking in the feet, thanks to transformation, but well, not lacking, actually pretty good, but not insanely impressive in the feet. But ab crunch is there as well, but again, too tight out of the box. You might have to fix it when you get it out of the box. And that came undone. Why is that come undone? There we go. And that came undone for some reason. Yeah. Listen, I stand it crooked because, okay, there we go. That's why. Yeah, again, you can see he has a tendency to kind of lean forward a bit, unfortunately, partially because of these knees, and partially, which is weird, he's back heavy enough that, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like almost like it's a counterbalance thing or something they tried to do that didn't really quite work. Okay. Come on. Stand up straight. There we go. Okay. So, comparisons. Got some comparisons. Here first he is with Optimus Primal. Just to give an idea. Apparently Optimus Primal is actually quite a bit shorter. I wasn't thinking about it, but yeah, he kind of is actually. He actually is genuinely, I believe, kind of shorter than you'd think he'd be. At least sometimes. I believe Mainframe did sometimes cheat a bit when they were animating the show. Here he's with Dinobot, although I got him in a particular pose. But yeah, Dinobot, who is still the biggest so far. You know, you can see he's almost pretty much almost a head taller than Tigatron. And the only Maximal who really can almost stand as tall as Dinobot is Rhinox, and yeah, I believe Rhinox is even shorter. And finally, most important one, of course, Cheetor. I'm not going to get my Predacons out, you know, right now, but yeah, you can see, yeah, quite the size difference. Like they weren't that big, you know, the size difference wasn't that big in Beast mode, but here you can see, yeah, there's a huge size difference between the two of them. Also, the nice thing is Tigatron actually uses the actual tiger head. He uses that fake cheetah head because, well, they animated it a little differently. So yeah, he's able to get away with it. He can't without really cheating. But still, yeah, it's weird, kind of crazy how much they, you know, even though, you know, Tigatron is supposed to basically be a slightly modified Cheetor model, like the transformation is so completely different, and yet they managed to they look so much the same, yet the transformations are completely different. And also, stupid shoulder on Cheetor. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm not going to, again, drag out my Predacons and stuff, but yeah, because you can Megatron's way taller than everyone else, and Black Arachne is the same size as Cheetor, more or less, so there's that. So, Tigatron. I rather like him, but I, of course, grew up on Beast Wars, so of course I like him. They'd have to really royally screw it up for me to not like him, that's the thing. So I'm a little biased. He is about $100. I paid about $170 for him, I believe, from Amazon. Yeah, something in that range. Total shipped. Yeah, it was about $170. Somewhere around there so he's not too bad masterpiece wise, but he is definitely on the spendier side. But you can also see why he is a noticeably larger masterpiece. So, and he has the fancy Beast Wars paint and quite a few accessories. Not actually as many you'd think there'd be, but a couple accessories, no electronics. So yeah, he's kind of spendy, but he also has a couple, unfortunately, some loose joints here and there. If it's kind of unfortunately loose. The knees are kind of weird. Yeah, those weird fake knees are can mess up posability a bit. The ab crunch is way too tight out of the box. The transformation of the knee where you have to slide out the leg, that's a little scary the first few times you do it. There is some paint transfer on mine, and it probably will be the case for a lot of other people's. Especially as they start posing it and finding that out. I suspect that's going to be a bit of a surprise for a lot of people as they start posing it. But I still like it. The beast modes, like a lot of the beast modes, it is compromised for the sake of the robot mode. Though so far, I think the only one who's managed to get away with largely uncompromised is, weirdly enough, Megatron. But I still like him. Tigatron is a pretty solid figure, and he's pretty fun to mess with and look at, and he just looks great. And if you're this deep into Beast Wars already, you're probably going to get him. But if you just thought, if you're a Tigatron fan, you probably like him too. He's a pretty darn good looking figure. I just like him, and if you're already against Beast Wars, then what are you doing? What are you doing here? I don't understand. But yeah, he does have his flaws, but nothing huge, just small ones that are fixable or can be frustrating. Again, I think the biggest one that's going to frustrate people is probably the paint transfer thing. I think that's the biggest one, just because it's the hardest to mitigate or fix if it's already happened. Everything else is easier to deal with in some way. You either just flip pledge for or kikis, I guess is the new thing, for the loose joints, and loosen those screws. Yeah, I think he's solid. Spendier, but solid. I like him. So that's my rambling thing there. I hope you found this review informative and entertaining, and I hope you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff with the YouTube thing. Check me out on Twitter on Nemesis Prime 1. I might have some pictures of this guy up there sooner or later. I might not. I don't know. I'm kind of busy this week. The review might come out before any pictures do. There's also Patreon and coffee, that sort of thing, because toys are expensive. And yeah, that should be it. And I so hope to see you next time for another video review, whenever that is. And I'm pretty sure just a self-indulgent video for me, somewhat self-indulgent video for me, will be coming out pretty soon. A non-review. So hopefully you guys check that one out as well. So I'll see you next time. Take care and bye.